Welcome to Menopause Monday. So today I'm talking about a common problem in women, and that is cellulite. So especially as we go through the menopausal years, cellulite is something that becomes more and more pronounced. So firstly, what is cellulite? You can get it around your hips, your bum, your thighs, on your arms. It's something that I started to notice appear on the fronts of my thighs as I looked down at them from above, and I noticed about 6 years ago. It's just like, it's happening. And I figured it'd be there to stay. But since following the tips I'm going to share today, it's virtually vanished. I can see it a little when I'm in plank and my legs are hanging down and it looks a little bit dimply. But beyond that, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. So first and foremost, how do we get it? So a lot of people think it's a fat issue, but in actual fact, it's a combination of things. On our bodies, we have skin, and then we have an outer connective sheath called fascia, and that lies just beneath the skin. It's a kind of connective tissue, and it holds everything together inside of our bodies. And then we have the fat layer, and then we have the muscle. So in someone who's overweight, with cellulite, the fat cells get bigger and they can overstretch, and they overstretch the fascia, and then the fat can actually bulge through there, creating like that dimple effect. Also, the muscles get atrophied, which makes it all get a little bit wobbly and creates that sort of look of wibbly wobbly cellulite stuff. And as we go through the menopause, our muscles atrophy much faster. So through the menopause, our hormones shift. You might be becoming more inactive. You may be more stressful. Sleep can be a problem with hot flushes and that anxiety that crops up. You might be taking less exercise because you're tired, and that circle continues. So how can we reverse it? So first of all, we need to reduce the size of the fat cell. You can't actually get rid of fat cells. You have to make them smaller. And so to do that, you need to work with the main hormone that controls the storage of fat, and that is insulin. So to manage our levels of insulin healthily, we just need to cut out refined carbs, reduce refined carbs, cut out sugars as much as we can, reduce our alcohol consumption, eat healthy, wholesome foods, which include fiber. Also know that excess fat increases inflammation in the body, and excess fat also produces its own estrogen in the body. So in a body which is already estrogen dominant normally through menopause, the excess fat not only contributes to your risk of heart disease and diabetes 2 and certain cancers, but it can also make your menopausal symptoms even worse. Number 2, we have to tighten up that fascia, which is affected by human growth hormone. So human growth hormone is like our anti-aging hormone, which is involved in all sorts of proteins in the body. And to stimulate our human growth hormone, you need to do short spells of high intensity training combined with resistance training. You also need to make sure you take your rest days and prioritize sleep, as good quality sleep helps us to create more human growth hormone. We also need to move our muscles in an intentional way to stimulate human growth hormone and have the right kind of exercise to get the necessary benefits during menopause. So third, eat healthy quality proteins. So high quality proteins include plenty of healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, coconut oil. Avoid vegetable oils because they tend to exacerbate inflammation in the body. Intermittent fasting also does help with the production of human growth hormone. I tend to have a window of 15 to 16 hours between my last meal and my first meal of the day, depending on my exercise regimen, and I find that works really, really well. 5 is manage our cortisol, our stress hormone. It's destructive to muscles, it's catabolic, and it keeps our growth hormone down. It spikes insulin, which is our fat storing hormone. It also makes you put on belly fat. So on your rest days, make sure you have a nice gentle walk, because that actually helps to reduce cortisol. Also, vitamin D helps our bodies on every single level. So if you can't get into the sun, I know that's been tricky this spring, get outside, wrap up, take your umbrella. Just make sure you're spending about 30 minutes a day outside in the UV lights. It's absolutely crucial for good mental and physical health. By the way, apologies for the sounds of dogs in the background. They've just had their late, I was going to see them in the camera, their late afternoon lunch, and they're getting all excited. Bless them. Vitamin D also helps you sleep better. Ultraviolet helps to create serotonin, which is one of our feel-good hormones, and serotonin is the precursor for melatonin, which is our sleepy hormone. Eat for health. So eat lots of vegetables, reduce your refined carbs, reduce your junk food, eat lean proteins, include healthy fats. Healthy fats are really good for us. Reduce your consumption of salt. We only need 1 teaspoon a day, and increase your potassium, because potassium is going to help reduce bloating around your body. We actually need 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day. That's a lot. So try and incorporate more veggies, which is going to help reduce that dimpling effect. One banana, for instance, which is traditionally a high potassium food source, only contains about 325 milligrams, which means you need to eat about 11 of them to get your daily dose of potassium. Foods high in potassium are like beet greens are the highest source. They contain a whopping 762 milligrams, I think it is, per 100 grams serving of beet greens. You can eat them raw, or you can saute them like you would do with spinach. Chard, sweet potatoes, water, coconut water, avocados, mushrooms, white beans, black beans, rainbow beans, squashes, potatoes, those sorts of things are also really, really good sources of potassium. But if you're eating a wholesome veggie-based diet, you should be okay. Stress management is also absolutely vital in menopause. Our adrenals back up the ovaries, and if the adrenals are stressed out, your symptoms are going to be worse. They're definitely going to be worse. That includes stress from literally all kinds of avenues. So it can be stress down the dark alley at nighttime. It can be a nasty boss. It can be a toxic relationship. It can be bad food. It can be too much alcohol. It can be smoking. Any behavior that doesn't serve the human being creates stress. And while we can't all escape stress, we can definitely manage it more effectively than most of us do. And one of the symptoms of adrenal stress is muscle atrophy, which contributes to cellulite. Atrophy is the shrinkage of your own lean body mass. And as we get older, it becomes more pronounced. The muscles break down and it just becomes more difficult to build them back up. So in summary, at the moment, cellulite can be caused by a sluggish lymphatic system. You need potassium and not too much salt. A diet that causes you to gain weight, as well as a lifestyle that doesn't reverse the aging effects of atrophy on the muscles. Also note that if you have weak muscles, it will negatively affect your bone health, but that's for another video. So what can you do? Strengthen your adrenals, which means improve your sleep, eat healthily, do the right kind of exercise, drink plenty of water, it's so good for us, and manage your stress more effectively. If you fix the cause of cellulite, your cellulite will reduce. It will reduce, I promise you. So what are the best exercises to blitz cellulite? Something you're probably very relieved to hear is that you don't need to be pounding on that treadmill for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. That kind of exercise is not going to serve you now that you're going through menopause and into midlife. You need to be really specific and intentional about that type of exercise that you do. But the great thing is that it doesn't take long to do. So it needs to be an exercise that doesn't elevate your cortisol levels too much. It needs to have some kind of weight bearing element to it. It also needs to be multidimensional, means that you're activating all the muscle groups of the body in a variety of ways to get the best results from it. Weighted compound movements combined with high intensity training are the best ways to get rid of cellulite and to keep you burning calories for longer, while also strengthening your bones and helping you build lean toned muscle. Finally, cellulite will go. It might take a while because it takes a long time to create, so it takes a long time to get rid of. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will eventually get better. So you've got to think long term. Changes will happen over time, and it's really, really great when you see those dimples getting less. So if you're making changes to your lifestyle and want to get rid of cellulite, take your before photos, because that's going to be the best indication of how you are now compared to how you will look down the road. And if you need help getting started with the nutrition and fitness plan that's going to help you get rid of cellulite, help you age more healthily, have more energy, leave a comment or send me a message. As always, thank you so much for watching this. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you like what you've watched. If you've got a topic in mind that you'd like me to cover in a future Menopause Monday, please get in touch with me and I will add it to my list. I am recording this on my Zoom today, and if my eyes aren't quite where you think they should be, I've been trying this like time and time again, and I still can't quite get it right. I've been rehearsing and I just thought I'm just going to go for it. So if my eyes are sort of like, and you're here, I do apologize. I'm sure it's going to be progress will make perfection. It's like one of those things. we can arse around trying to get it right 100%, and sometimes you just have to press play and bloody get it done. So with that, have a great week. Who can believe it? June hasn't arrived. I really hope the sun comes with it. Thank you for your time, and catch you soon.